Hi, I'm Dr. Gloria Haynes, and I'm bereavement coordinator and counselor at Lakeside Hospice. We service 8 counties, and we're here for those people in all of those 8 counties who may be hurting and who may be going through some kind of loss. First of all, let's talk about understanding your grief. Grief is not an enemy or a sign of weakness. It is a sign of being human. Grief is the cost of loving someone. Since grief comes to everyone, why do some people seem to work through it better than others? Some people think that going through the losses or crises of life are the exceptional times. But I see it differently. I see the times of calm as exceptions. Life really is going through one loss after another, one crisis after another. Instead of avoiding these crises and these times, let's do our homework. When you know what to expect, you're not thrown into a loop by what these things are happening in your life. You're going to be better able to recover from them and be able to deal with them. And that's what my job is, to help you understand what the grief journey is all about and what to expect as you walk your journey. Now, this recording is to help you understand your grief and to move into your grief, to embrace your grief and come through it a better person and a stronger person than you were before you started this journey. But I tell you, another thing that's going to help you is your hope in the Lord. The Lord will help you to renew your strength and to mount up on wings of eagles, to run and not get weary, to walk and not faint. Grief is a unique experience. You may feel it is useless to talk about your grief because no one truly understands what you're going through. You sometimes feel after an experience like this that you're talking a foreign language. You feel like there's no way anybody can know what you're feeling. There's absolutely no way anyone can know the depth of your pain. So you feel like it's futile to talk about it because words cannot express the pain that you're feeling. Although countless people have experienced grief before you, each person's response to grief is different. Your path of grief will be uniquely your own. Be encouraged that regardless of how your grief appears to you or others, it is a precious uniqueness to the one who created you. God, who knows intimately your personality, your relationships, and the experiences of your life, knows your grief, and it isn't a shock or surprise to him as to how you respond and what you're going through. Remember this little prayer that I'll say to you. Oh Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex, so wonderfully different, so wonderfully unique. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. And this prayer comes from Psalms 139. If you get an opportunity, read the whole psalm. It will be encouraging to you, and you will be blessed from it. Now let me talk about the Mourner's Bill of Rights. The Mourner's Bill of Rights is just like our constitutional Bill of Rights. But this Bill of Rights is for mourners. Mourner apostrophe S. Though you should reach out to others as you do your work of mourning, you should not feel obligated to accept the unhelpful and maybe sometimes unsolicited responses you may receive from some people. Although they mean well, although they're trying to help, sometimes the remarks that they say, they may even make you angry or feel like this person just doesn't get it. They just don't understand how you feel or where you're coming from. You are the one who is grieving, and as such, you have certain rights. No one should try to take these rights away from you. The following list that I will read to you is intended both to empower you to heal and to decide how others can and cannot help you. This is not to discourage you from reaching out to others for help, but rather to assist you in distinguishing youthful and appropriate responses from the hurtful ones that you will receive. First, you have the right to experience your own unique grief. No one else will grieve in exactly the same way you do. So, when you turn to others for help, don't allow them to tell you what you should or should not be feeling. We usually grieve accordingly as to how that person that has left us, our loved one, according to how they impacted our lives. No two people in the same family are going to grieve over that same loved one in the same manner. No two children are going to grieve over mother in the same way, because mother meant something different to each sibling. No wife is going to grieve the same way as another person who may have lost their husband, because the experiences and the impact of that person is going to be different. Everything is unique according to how that person uniquely impacted your life. Number 2, you have the right to talk about your grief. Talking about your grief will help you to heal. Seek out others who will allow you to talk as much as you want to talk, as often as you need to talk. They should allow you to express your grief. If at times you don't feel like talking, you also have the right to be silent. Number 3, you have the right to feel a multitude of emotions, and you will. Sometimes you can't put your finger on exactly what it is that's causing you to feel down and depressed and to even cry sometimes. You just know that something is not right. You just know that you're crying. You just know that you're not feeling so good right now. You're confused sometimes. You're disoriented. You're afraid. You're feeling guilt and you're feeling anger. You might feel as part of something going on that you've never felt before. And others may tell you that these feelings you need to get over with, that this is wrong, that grief shouldn't be like this. You got to be strong. Who tells you you got to be strong? During these times, you have to be human. And humans are relational people because we're made in God's image. And God is relational. We are God's Imago Dei. Don't take these judgmental responses from other people to heart. Instead, find those listeners and those persons who will give you the time you need to vent through your grief. This is very important. Those people who would accept your feelings and acknowledge you for who you are and where you are on your grief journey without any other conditions present is important. Number 4, you have the right to be tolerant of your physical and emotional feelings and also your emotional limits. This is hard work. And because it is hard work, there are times you're going to feel so tired, so fatigued, and all you might want to do is just sleep. But be sure that you get the right amount of exercise also. Be sure that you're eating nutritious meals and balanced meals. Be sure that you take time to exercise and keep yourself healthy. That is important. I would suggest that you go to the doctor after the loss of a loved one and get a good physical. There may be medicines that he would need to prescribe for you so that you can maintain a healthy life and a healthy lifestyle. You may even need some antidepressants for a short while. Something that is like 10 or 20 milligrams that you can take until you can begin to focus the way you need to focus. You have the right to experience what I call grief burst. Now you may say, now what in the world is a grief burst? A grief burst is when something just happens out of nowhere. You're not looking for it. Sometimes out of nowhere, a powerful surge of grief may overcome you. And you begin to scream, you begin to cry, you begin to even holler and shout out. This can be frightening because you didn't intend for this to happen. But this is a normal reaction. Sometimes it could be the smells in the air of a perfume or food, your favorite foods that may be cooking, or bread, or freshly baked bread that is being permeated through the air, and that reminds you of that loved one that is no longer here. It's normal. So cry if you must. You do not have to be strong. You don't have to not embrace this because it's part of your grief journey. Find someone who understands what you're going through and who will let you talk it out. You have the right to make use of ritual. Now, what rituals am I talking about? I'm talking about memorials. I'm talking about funerals. This is a way to find closure, a closure to a life that has been well lived. The funeral ritual does not do anything more than acknowledge the death of someone that you loved. It helps provide you with the support of those people around you who are caring for you and concerned about your welfare. More importantly, the funeral is a way for you to mourn and to help get some of these emotions out. If others tell you the funeral or other healing rituals such as these are silly or unnecessary, please don't listen. Another right that you have is the right to embrace your spirituality. And I strongly suggest that you do. If faith is a part of your life, express it in ways that seem appropriate to you. Allow yourself to be around people who understand and support your religious beliefs. If you feel angry at God, find someone to talk with who won't be critical of your feelings and who understand those feelings of hurt and abandonment. Now, I mentioned before that this is a grief journey. So we have to understand that on this road, on this path, we will have maybe sometimes detours. And we'll have to stop sometimes and regroup and see, where do I go from here? Because 9 times out of 10, you're on a crossroads in your life. And you're trying to figure out, where do I belong? What do I do? This person was a great part of my life, and I don't know how to live life without them. But you can. You can, and you will. Because God called them. God did not call you. So that means that God has something else purposefully driven, purposely given just for you. So we need to find out what our purpose is in life and do that. Do that. We're not here just haphazardly. We're not here just for happenstance. God, our Creator, has given reason to our existence. Now, as we walk this grief journey, we need to acknowledge the reality of the death. This first need of mourning involves gently confronting the reality that someone you care about will never physically come back into your life again. But they left a hole in your heart, and they left a void in your life. Whether the death was sudden or anticipated, acknowledging the full reality of the loss may occur over weeks and months. To survive, you may try to push away the reality of the death at times. You also may discover yourself replaying events surrounding the death and confronting memories, both good and bad. This replay is a vital part of this need of mourning. It's as if each time you talk about it, the event is a little more real. Remember, this is the first need of mourning, to acknowledge that it happened. And there are other events that you'll find on this journey that will help you grow. Now, you may say, how am I going to grow from this experience? You will. Remember, if God will take you to it, He definitely can take you through it. Now, in order to walk this grief journey, we need to embrace the pain that we're going to have because of our loss. No, we don't want to feel the pain. And we wish we didn't have to go through with it. We wish there was a way to get around it. But we can't. Remember, you can't go over it. You can't go under it. You can't go around it. You must go straight through it. And if God will bring you to it, He will. take you through it.